Well, it's July 14th, Russell, as you can see, and I'm standing in front of what is now 31 Church Street and looking over at 29. Used to be 46. It still says 46 in the front, as you'll see. I have not changed that yet. 450. I've got to get new numbers for there. My mother's car and my truck still parked in front. We'll see more of that later. My wife has a flag in the front. And as we look across, you don't see a red house anymore. It's been sided with a light tan vinyl siding. And as you can see, it looks, I guess, fairly well. And we've painted, or I've painted, the building off to the right white, and then put a coat of what is supposed to match the house, and just put shutters on this week. I think it was Monday. Put the shutters on. They just came in, and it kind of dresses up the house. And she just recently had some shrubbery planted and some little stones put in front of the building. We'll look at that a little closer also. The garage doors that we usually put up for the summer are not up. They don't fit anymore. And it's more of a job than I had planned, and they've all got to be cut both up and down and sideways. So they have not been put in, and obviously will not be put in this year. The traffic is coming up and down the street because of it. It's 5 o'clock, and we're getting a lot of traffic because of the construction on the main street. She also has some flowers planted in some cement containers on the wall in front of our house. The mountain ash that was planted right there was dying, so she is some of the fast traffic coming up the street. Kind of slow down when I get the camera on them. So she had the person who put the shrubbery up tear down the ash, and she's got a little bird feeder there now. We've got 3 of the planters on the south side of the driveway. Some of the fast traffic going by. And she's got the pig trough here, to scald a pig, also been circled with the plastic and then filled with the small granite stones, and the flag is there now. You can see how big our tree has grown. It's got flowers planted there, and there you can see the eaves troughs that have been put up since you were here. I also had a new roof put on since you were here. The air conditioner is a new one, still in the same place as the old one, but it's a new one. New brass mailbox from our daughter Barbara, and there's our new number, 31. We also have it above the door in the front, and a new brass light. All kinds of differences here on Church Street. Another view of the bird bath and the lamb and some flowers where the mountain ash was. Looking across, we see some new shrubbery over at Ken Castine's that were planted today. One in each corner of his garage. He's put up these several trees think a couple of them had died. He planted that one right there some time ago, or had it done, and he's put up some runoff for his eaves trough. Hasn't used the pool in 3 or 4 years. I don't even know if there's any water in it right now. You can see that our tree next to our little building has continued to grow over the years. It's now stretching out over the garage. I'm going to have to get up and trim some of the branches. I noticed they're starting to touch. And the big tree in front of the house has got bigger and bigger and bigger. It'd be fine if it weren't for those 3 pieces that have branched off very low to the ground, and kind of afraid that one will tip, and if it does, part of our house is going to go with it. We'll go over and see next door. Well, I've removed the buy, trade, and sell part of Bob Venne Enterprises sign, kind of cover them up. It's still building number 2, and in the back you'll see that there's a new roof put on that building, because that's the one that caved in with the weight of the snow on the flat roof that was on that building. There's $2,000 on that roof right now. It looks bigger because of the lightness of this siding. I've just painted the bottom blocks. They were red. Just finished those about a week and a half ago. And I'm now working on the buildings. I've scraped the far end of that building there. I've also painted the white on the trim. Just scraped the door today. The 2 windows have been done with an undercoat. The shutters are off. In this one I have the 2 windows and the door finished. I haven't done the trim around the side yet. And then I'll paint them all white as an undercoat, and then the tan, or the light cream, the color of our house. This is that trailer again. You can see it's a 50-footer. We had new roofs put on this building as well as our buildings at our house. I just put new outside coverings on those 2 doors right there. They were falling apart. Instead of replacing them, I just covered them with a plywood, outdoor plywood, and then painted them. Now over to the left, you can see some of the fill that they've been putting in, and I'll show you more of that as we get around to the front of the building. Back of the living room and the garage, I painted the blocks over there, and they'd never been painted before. They were gray. I put them the same color as the house. In the back of that building had never been painted. I had done 2 sides of the small building that showed, and finally got around to finishing those 2 sides, and then the back and the inside. You can see this building will need some scraping. And as we got to hang those wires back up that are under there. It's very hot in the back of here in the daytime, so I don't do it. That's my small trailer that was over where I am right now previously. It's been put over there behind the trailer. I'm going to have to do something. I've been in there and didn't close that little door. Took the steps off that little porch. They were all rotting. Took them off, and I'm going to have to either replace that gray material onto the trailer or else paint it. I'll do that soon. Septic tank just outside of here, and then the material and the water would run off in this direction to a tank that would split it in 2 directions, and haven't been used in 10 to 15 years, and water went in it a few times from the sink downstairs, and it finally rotted and caved in. So I filled it with rocks. Haven't really done anything else. I put that carrier for a car on top of it so nobody would fall in. It's only about a foot or so. Then we're going to try to cement this whole square back here. We wanted to do it this spring, but didn't get done. We'll try it this fall, and that'll be all covered up. Side, you can see the small granite stones that have been placed along with some shrubbery and flowers. A supposedly retaining wall, and goes right over to the other side. The street looks much like it did before, I think. He's had some stuff running out of his chimney, creosote or something. It's run down on the building, and he's cleaned it up a couple times. John's about 84 now. He's got his garage doors closed at this 5:03 p.m. Goes to bed early. He had been to bed between 8 and 9 and up about 5. One of the 2 lots that John sold is right over there, and it's for sale. He wants to move to Rouse's Point. This lot on the corner belongs to Ricky Garceau from Garceau's gas station, and he would like to have put up a car wash there, but they won't let him. It's in the village and it's zoned. As we look off to the side, here's some of those weeds that you used to keep cut, Russell, between here and what was Burger Island. And you can see that they've been bringing cement, dirt, rocks, stones, everything in here. And some of these still have the rods in them, the reinforcing rods, and that's going to be a problem when they try to bury that, if they ever have to pull it out or dig for any reason. And off to the back, you can see the back of the outlet mall. That's the east side, the side that is parallel to the Northway. Then it goes west. You can see the western part right behind Garceau's. And up here you can see the traffic lights. The traffic lights on this side of the overpass and some on the other side, and then another set just down across from what was the Dairy Queen, where you go into the outlet mall. Cars lined up, and you can see the traffic. And it just opened 2 weeks ago, really. They've had some business, but there's about 17 stores open. We'll get over there and show you those stores, give you an idea of some of the traffic coming up and down, and lots of noise on busy Church Street in the village of Champlain. Trailer in the back that had painted, I think I showed you that since it was painted. And this was also painted, and all the plastic on the ends have been removed. I don't have to worry about keeping it warm anymore. I had trouble with this door. It was falling apart, so I just covered it with some more plywood and painted it and screwed it to the other. And I have shelves in behind there, and I can see that those shutters are falling all apart. I'm going to have to take those out of there. Look at that. I'll take those out of there and cover with something else. There's a window broken in the corner. I think the building is starting to warp or turn a little because of all the weight I've got in it, and it's snapped the lower window. I'll get some plastic to put in there rather than glass. Up on this tends to slow them down a little bit. You wouldn't care for the traffic on Church Street right now, Russell. That's 3, this is 4, and another one coming up, all within a period of less than a minute. the fill on this corner lot that belongs to McCrae. You can see the stones and the various materials. And they keep spreading it out every once in a while. They can't get too close to that access road on South Street. I'll show you why in just a second as I head over toward the corner. What was DeBurger Island is pretty busy. They've got a tree growing up on the corner hiding their dumpster. It also hides the view when you come up the road and look to the south. This is a real bad corner here, as I've mentioned to you before. That road that heads out to the west at the corner, and all of this land way over to that plat over there is all owned by the road. So that's all no man's land, and they can't fill that in. Matter of fact, they own way down to that post you can see way out there. That's all part of this highway. So it's not a very big area that they can really fill in. It used to look like this, has added this addition to the south side of the building to make it bigger. Another view from the southeast side of the addition to the Burger Island building. And I understand you can cook your own steaks in there if you want to. They have some kind of items that in there. They're quite busy now, a big parking lot, and they've filled in on the west side quite a bit with a lot of the dirt that's being removed around the village. The Burger Island Family Restaurant is the Burger Island no more. They've changed the name. It's now called the Peppercorn Family Restaurant. More of a restaurant name than Burger King or Burger Island. On the corner of Ridge Road, Church Street just to my right, and Route 11. And it says play lotto here at the Border View Grocery. $7 million right now. Border View Grocery. Been getting more business the last year or so than ever before. You can see the price of the gas. $1.26 for regular, $1.32 and $1.39. And that building right over there is a new one that Bob has put up, and that's for a lot of equipment coming here. That is for a bottle redemption center, and getting a lot of business over there with the bottles. Gas here, $1.26 up the road between here and Rouse's Point. At the Midway, it's $1.19. Also, Lakeview in Rouse's Point, just arriving into Rouse's Point, is $1.19 for regular. We usually fill up when we're in that area. The busy traffic here, you can see there's 2 cars waiting, and many coming on Route 11. Busy Route 11 that now carries more traffic than the Northway. More traffic over that overpass than under. Don't know all of a sudden where it's all going, Russell. We don't think we have more people in the area, but everybody's moving. You can see how long it takes to try to get across onto Ridge Road, and then when they do, they really have to goose it, or they're not going to get across. With the red light up there on the corner east of here for Route 11 and Route 9, traffic backs up, and then it comes up here, and then here we go, 2 more cars waiting again, 3, and then they have to wait for the traffic in both directions. By putting in the new big driveway here in the fill, Bob has made himself a lot of room for big trucks to park who want to frequent his restaurant. There's some more of that traffic. It's 5:22. Of course, some of this is traffic going to and from work. Vacation traffic is now here in the middle of July, and just good old Route 11 traffic. 87 is also quite busy. Mr. LaRush, who lived in this first house right here, passed away within the past year. Past 6 or 8 months, I guess. And his son still lives next door in the mobile home, double wide, but and Mr. LaRush's wife is still there. Not much activity on the farm anymore. Looking west on July the 14th. 5 days since Valentine's Day, Russell. And only about 5 months before we hit Christmas again. Seems to come a lot quicker when we get older. Didn't come this quick when I was young. Seemed like a long time from one to the other. Just starting at the green light on the east end of the overpass. Look at the traffic, Russell. I don't think you ever saw traffic like that when you were here. And that's just a little over 5 years ago. Look at it move in from all angles. Coming in, they're lined up 2 or 3 coming up the ramp, waiting for the light to turn so they can come up on their exit on the northbound lane of the Northway. Grave is being dug in Champlain at the Catholic Cemetery on Church Street. Bayshard. Mrs. Martha LaFave, the wife of Ernest J., who lived on the Rapid Road on the south side of Route 11 Bridge. You turn up that road and the son, her son, has the farm equipment. Rene, R-E-N-E. Diane Bayshard, who used to work up in Ministerial, married Joe Ashline, who was always very good to you, and you remember Diane Bayshard. Well, this was her grandmother. Her father's mother just passed away. You can see she was born in 97. She was 96 years old. The funeral is tomorrow. Poisson, next grave, means fish in English. Stone, we see some bones. I don't know if someone ate his lunch here or someone's been digging for bones, but baby was, well, it wasn't a baby, daughter of Evelyn Poisson Brown, 91 years old when she passed away 2 years ago. And your former home, Transborder, continues to be very, very busy. They haven't made any additions, but they're talking about some because they're filled up all over and doing a great job. Lots of business. Some of this traffic goes by awfully fast. It's a 30-mile zone. There's our neighbor right over there. He's advertising his house. Looks very nice too. Center ramp, Russell, looking onto Main Street here in Champlain, and you can see ahead we're going to have curbs. They're getting ready to put the curbs in on this side, and they've already got them in on the other side. They've been cutting down the road, digging down anywhere to 3 feet in the road, and then they'll be putting some more gravel on top of this, and then the blacktop will come to within 6 inches of the curbing. 6 inches of the curbing will be showing. We'll see some of the curbing as we ride down in the car. You can see the curbing is here. They're going to have to build up now about 1 foot to 1.5 feet on this side, and as I mentioned, 6 inches will be showing on the other side. You can see how much they've cut down. It was way up to there before. They've taken out an awful lot. of the dirt here, and then refilled with some gravel. This is South Street heading down toward our house. You can see the curbs are wrapping around the road. Corner looks like on the corner of South and Main. Trucks coming down, and the curbing, so that it will eventually end up right about where you see that difference in the color. That extra foot will be filled in and covered with blacktop. And then there are drains set up that will catch storm drains coming up and down. It sure has slowed traffic down and has sent a lot of the traffic around by Church Street now, because it's very, very slow. We'll look down and see what we can see as they head down toward the village. I think you know about where we are. I'm about 50 feet, 70 feet north of the intersection with South Street. Sue's house is just down next to where that man is standing. The posts on the side are strictly markers that they use as a measurement as to where the curbing and will go, and the height and so forth of the road itself. It will not be out that far. Then they're putting in new sidewalks. Sidewalks will, I guess, will still be only on the one side, the west side of this road. The hill, as you head down into the village, our village hall is right there on the right. One of the vehicles coming up. And this is where you turn on Pine Street to go over toward Church Street. All this dirt has been taken out and new gravel put in. There's some more coming up now. This is Sue's house right here on Church Street, and Larry and Celine Paquette's house. There were 3 trees right along this side of this street. They've all been taken out. And there's only 1 tree left in all of downtown between here and the bridge as you head up the hill near the laundry. There's the Border Patrol, just went and picked up somebody, streaking off there to the south. This is where the curbing will go on these crushed stones that have been added here. They're maintaining one-way traffic, although very slow, and there are delays. All this is taking place in front of Sue's house right now. They're getting ready to put some porches on here, there, and around the side this year. And they're going to have their roof done this year. He's also working on his driveway. Sidewalk was up and down here. You can see they're hacking and tamping. Must have put some wires across. That really packs the old dirt right in. That ought to make you free and loose by the end of the day. This is Sue's driveway. Been dug up down about 2 feet and repacked, and the new gravel put in, and now they're waiting for northern blacktopping to come and pave it for them and tie it in with the street. They're also waiting for a deck to be started completely around their pool in the backyard. They moved that building back about 30 or 40 feet in the past month and a half. And then next year they're going to be working on their siding and getting the house looking better. Looks good inside, but outside has lots to be desired. Some of the equipment. They're over onto Ashline Drive. So some wires, I guess, were running from that pole over to Ashline Drive. Look at that camper. He vibrates right with it. Draw the gravel, the dirt away and the gravel back to refill what they've removed. On the corner of Pine, as it meets Main, we can see a manhole or water shutoff here, and obviously the road will be level with that point. They put drainage on both sides of the street, and the main pipes that run down to the water start up on the hill and come from both ends of the village and meet down below to put it into the river. And the main pipe is on this side of the street, and the drains on the other side of the street run across underneath the road. They went down as much as 11 feet to put some of these pipes. A catch basin will be located right here on this corner. As a matter of fact, it's under that dirt right now. It'll be dug back up when they're ready for it. Of the telephone office now, it's right over there, and we're going to start down the hill and see if we can continue to get a picture. It'll be a little bumpy and won't be too steady, but I'm trying to drive as I do this. And you can see how much they've cut down the road here. And they started back in, I think it was May, and they expect their contract is due to be done on December 31st, but they will be ready ahead of that, they said. They expect by the middle of August to have this section all taken care of and be repaved and the whole thing. Going down into the village now, as you can see. You can see here how much they've cut down. They will be building back up some. And there's the street. The rest will be the final packing, gravel, and then the paved road itself. They've been putting road upon road in the past. There's where they're working now, down in front. What was the candy cupboard? Just right down where that person is where you turn up to Church Street. From Canada, one from St. Albans bought the old bank building here on the corner, just near the bridge, and they've been working on it. Put a new roof and put some of the copper along the side, and put new windows and new floors upstairs, and then all of a sudden just stopped and haven't done anything in the past year plus. They were going to make offices in it, and right now it's at a complete dead standstill. I guess they decided that they've had enough money into it for right now. Roll Road, Russell, up Oak Street, show you that Oak Street is not the street it used to be. The house on the left here that used to be the dentist has been sold, and it's now for sale again. The brick house up here on the left was taken over by an heir who, after Mrs. Gagnon or Gaillon died, and all the buildings in the back, except for the garage, there was barns back there, have all been torn down. And we'll go up the street and I'll show you the rundown condition of some of these properties. There are two properties on the left that are now vacant, and they've let it someone take it over. This house right here was Mrs. Dresser's. She was the librarian, the president of the board. I guess that house has been sold. She died, and she was a widow, and that house has been sold. But the next one has not been sold, and you can see the condition of the lawn. Very bad. They keep the north side cut. I guess that must be a neighbor that's doing that. I believe I told you, Russell, that they were thinking of putting in a stone quarry, and this is where it's going to be, in behind that building over there, in behind the barns between here and the customs houses. There's our customs warehouse, and they're going to be pulling in a lot of rock and crushing it here, and then refilling the area later on. There's a rock ledge throughout here, and they expect to sell a lot of stone. Something I wanted to show you. On top of this barn here is a TV camera that watches guard over the crossing and over the property. There goes back and forth, and is controlled from the sector headquarters of the Immigration and Border Patrol in Swanton. And they can zoom down, and they could be taking me right here now, but it's pointing in the wrong direction right now. Behind Bayshaw's farm, the road is blocked up there just as it was when you were here. The elementary school, Russell, and they put up a big toys playground. I think it was last summer for the kids. The local people raised about $30,000 and put this up and put all the crushed stone and put down about a foot siding all around, and it's full of stones for jumping and playing. There's the old playground, the swings, and then there was a bond floated for some money given to us, and they built a small pavilion here with a roof over it to have a picnic if you want, and so forth. Just to the west of the driveway at the school, and right now they passed an $11 million school repair bill bond a year ago, and you can see what will be the new roof that will be put on all sections here. That will be put on a flat roof with a membrane, and that's all going to be put on this coming summer on top of this. Also, you can see that our chimney is split. That's got to be repaired all the way up, and the blacktop in this section over here will be replaced. And then they've got to take asbestos out of this building. There's asbestos up above the tiles. That'll be removed next year. Located right next to the library. I came to the library, but there's no librarian tonight. Oh, what you're looking at, Russell, is our new secondary sewer treatment plant located directly across the street from the library on Elm Street. They said we had to have more secondary treatment. We had a primary treatment when you were here, so they put this up, and these are some of the fields. We haven't made a tour of this yet to see how it works, but it's all circulating in here, and as it purifies itself, it's being agitated all the time. It goes back out into the river, but when it goes out, it's in good shape. And it's located just off Elm Street. Elm Street's just behind those trees. And as I turned, you will see the driveway that goes into the school, and the library is right behind those trees right there. Very, very rough. When it was muddy, they backed in with their trucks, and you can see the ruts are very deep. and now they're very hard and it's very tough to walk. We're back on Main Street and we're heading toward the bridge on Main Street. Alright, and we'll show you what it looks like here as we head up around the curve near the laundry. Going across the bridge, we'll be heading into the sun in this general area. Window is dirty when the sun's shining and it doesn't help. We're just going to give some idea as we go up around the curve. You can't use automatic focus because the window doesn't work with automatic focus, or automatic focus doesn't work with the window, I should say. And you can see they're getting ready for the curbs here also. This construction goes all the way up to where you turn to go under the underpass. So there's work all the way around here. It's hard to hold this camera, but you'll get a general idea anyway, I guess, Russell. I'll stop here and tell you that this will go on about as far as you can see up there, right to where the pavement ends and you turn left. That's where this job is going to end. This road right here that goes to Perry's Mills will not come in at an angle anymore. It will be brought in a little bit more to the north and come in at a right angle. They don't like these V's anymore. You can't have this kind of an angled drive meeting of two roads. So this will be removed and it'll be coming in, and they'll be putting in a new thing in this area, you can see. This road will not be touched. They're only doing the Main Street. It's a state job. What you're looking at now is the overpass that heads up by the old milk plant. And we're going to turn down the Webb Dubois Road because I want to show you the new bridge they've put in here. If we can cross it. We're supposed to be, because they had to change something on it. And there's construction, some of the dirt being dropped here, as you can see. And for fill, this is the Webb Dubois Road, heading south now. A little easier here. This is the new bridge. You can see there's no top on this bridge. They're being worked on because they're putting the water pipes, which are right on top now, are going under here. They're using this fire hose right now to get water to the from the village to the outlet mall or the outlet stores, and it'll be going underground here, and it'll be suspended under the bridge later. And we're now on the Webb Dubois Road. And I will stop up here and I'll show you the back, or the mall, from an angle. There's the mall over there, and you can see McDonald's sign. There's the old Dairy Queen. In now from the west side, just making the last big curve before we get the pole light, and then you'll see what is happening from this end. The pole light is right on my left, and there's the 1187 truck plaza. The camera is on our shoulder, just sitting here as we approach the busy part of Route 11. The outlet stores are off to the left here. You can see them. You see the backs of the stores. We'll try to get back over. I got to get home because Teresa, they made the extra shoulders here so the cars would have an approach. This is the first light, the one that will control the traffic in and out. And then McDonald's is busy as ever. And then the first light that stops you, and it's turning red now. U-Balls and here to our left with his used cars and everything. And you can see they've made a extra lane on the right that will take the traffic onto the thruway. And they made an extra lane on the west side. You can see where they've added the new blacktop to give them an approach so that the traffic which is stopped here will not impede the traffic that wants to go south. And now our light is turning green. There's the exit, I think. You might have seen it. And this now is we're going across the overpass over 87, and you will see there's an extra lane also that comes on here. I think you can probably see there a little bit. And lots of traffic on Route 11. It's about 22 minutes to 7. Teresa has a 7 o'clock meeting, so I'm going to go over and see if she needs this car. Her car is in the garage working on a window this weekend, or today rather, and then I'll probably use my mother's car if she needs this one, so I can take you down and show you the mall. We've come back because Teresa doesn't need the car, so I'm pulling into the road for the outlet stores now, and this is the back. This is the west side of the stores, then the back, and they got all the, you can see the shrubbery has been planted and they're being watered today, and about 40% of what is going to be here is now here. I'll have a picture at home. I'll try to explain this to you, and this is where we'll be coming in between this section. There'll be a section off to our left, a reverse C, and then straight down to that sign down there, there'll be a third section. And this, as I pull around, I'll park here and try and get a picture of what's lighting the sun, Russell, which is just up the top there off to our left. But this is the top of the letter C. And we'll show you. The first place here is the Levi outlet store. They've got 11,000 square feet on this whole corner. And we're facing south right now, and the camera is pointing off to a southwesterly direction. And our big problem here is we're facing into the sun, so we'll show you what we're talking about. There's the Levi sign, and this whole corner, they're taking a place of 4 stores. They wanted one, but they took 4 different areas. They took 11,000 square feet. And then there's a place called Woolrich. Woolens, men's, various clothing, outdoor clothing for men. And then there's Carter's children's wear. Then there's a store called Trader Kids, another kids store, mostly a little older than the Larry Paquette, Celine. Larry got married, I think, since you left. And she just stopped in the car here. She's first time through here. And now this is designer fragrance and cosmetics store. Putting the signs up now. People are from Georgia who are putting up these signs. And this is the best spot in the place, Russell, right here. Publisher's Warehouse. That's where I go in and buy books. Leather Loft. Famous footwear. Hanes, Champion, Bally, Hanes, and Legs. There's 4 stores in that big section, all owned by the Hanes Company. And there's the big symbol on the southwest broad. That's where the building starts to turn and then heads in an easterly direction. And that's all owned by Hanes. And then the next 5 stores are owned by Venne. Well, first of all, we got there's going to be a restaurant right straight in here, and a baby care, and probably the toilets will probably be in that section straight ahead. An eatery, Main Street Eatery, going to open in August. Then there's the kitchen collections, all kinds of things for your kitchen. And then comes the Bass Shoe Outlet. These are all the Van Heusen stores, 5 of them. Jeffrey Bean, Windsor Shirt, Cape Isle Knitters, and then Van Heusen itself. Then there's a Welcome Home. I'm not sure what that is. We're not exactly sure what that is yet. Then American Tourister. And then the next one is going to be called the USA Greetings or something, in that section on the corner. And then it's Corning Revere Wear. Going to have a big section over there as they start to curve again, and then it's going to be heading north, the bottom part of the sea. And then there's another store right in that section right there that is Spring Made, sheets, pillowcases, and flatware. And then there's another one in here called Eyes something. And then I'm not sure what the other sections are. There's 4 more big stores as it completes the bottom part of the sea. There's parking here for 720 plus cars. The flowers are up. The shrubbery is up. The flowers are planted, as you can see. Gladiolas, I think they said. I'm not sure on that. Daffodils or gladiolas. Going to be, I guess they're daffodils. It's going to be 1,500 or 15,000 of those planted here. And then there's a walkway, but it's not enclosed, all the way on the outside. And then there's a door on the inside between each store. So it's possible to go from one end to the other without going outdoors, by going from one side of one store to the other side and then into the next store. I'm not sure that they can't do that right now because some of the stores aren't open. Small crowd here tonight. They've been doing pretty well so far, we've heard. They opened just about 2 weeks ago. They first opened. I guess it was in the last week in June, so this may be the 3rd week. A lot of part-time help as well as some full-time help. There's McDonald's, that's where we're located. Route 11 is right over there, and there's U-Balls. And then that's where the exits are onto the thruway. Now the plan is phase 2 is going to be starting about over there, and there's going to be a reverse sea that goes up quite a bit to the west, and most of that sea, which will be just like this one, only reversed, will be west, north and west of here. And then there'll be another section that starts in that area, a separate building, and goes down, and again, it's a half of a C that comes along parallel with, the bottom part is parallel with 87, which is over there. And there'll be a wide open area where you can look out and see the Northway, and you can see in here when you're on the Northway. That's what the Miramar factory outlets stores look like in Champlain, New York. 6:52 p.m. July 14th, Russell. Hope you're enjoying this little tour of the things that are happening in our area. I'll add to these tomorrow as I head toward Rouse's Point and show you some of the new things in that area and what's happened. They have a new street in Rouse's Point. All the electricity on the main part of the community from the Saxony down, or not quite as far south as the Saxony, but way up past the library, are all underground. There's no more wires running on either side of the road. They've got some light poles, but the wire goes up and then back down again. Looks very, very nice. Lines are going up over there now. The truck is there. I came in here a little over a week ago, and the ambulance was here from the village. We'll be covering this with their contract with the town, and someone had fallen from up above there, where just about where Trader Kids are, and landed down in the flower area with the sign down on top of him, and I understand broken arm, and was limping a little bit. They put him on a stretcher and took him to the medical center. I guess it was nothing too bad, but his truck stayed here overnight. To the east, past the bottom of the C here, the last store, you can see Transborder's warehouse. Their office is right behind that building, and we're right behind that, where we're living. And some of these stores are pretty big, real huge. This is the main concourse, or the main section here, where you go in and you go either way. You see the trees have been planted on the two islands on either side of that main area. Trees are up, the grass is in, all laid down, already grass when it came here. They laid the sods. If everything works well, they expect to get started on the second phase by September. They started this about last September or October, getting the ground broke and all the other things that go with it. And then they opened about the 24th, 25th or 6th of June. There were about 4 or 5 stores that were ready. The rest of them opened a week later. Now they need a lot of customers.
Oh, say Bo.
Yeah,
hey.
Gerald Gooley, and look at it, Mrs. Gooley. Yeah, well, I'm glad I showed her too.
That's my friend's best friend.
This is going, listen, this is going to North Dakota.
That's my uncle.
Do you remember Russell Thompson? Used to live in my mother's trailer, and he was at the restaurant a lot. Wore a white uniform all the time. Well, this is going out to him so he can see what's happening in our area.
Meat inspector.
He was the food, well, not quite. Okay, Russell. You can see it's 7:39. I've been talking with a guy just outside my car here, and I'm getting ready to go home now. I'm going to take a picture as I go up the road heading toward the light, and be driving at the same time. So we'll see what we can see. This is going out. We're heading south on the exit, and until we get to all these red lights, we'll be going through 3 different electronic lights. Off to my left, as I show you here as I get to the light, will be the old Dairy Queen. It's now called Steamy's. They have hot dogs and things like that. Well, today, I don't know if I told you, but my grandson works there, and apparently one of those big trucks that are out here been going back and forth over the top of the their ground, and they apparently caved in their septic tank, and now they had to close. They weren't able to operate until they get it fixed. So that'll take most of tomorrow, I guess, to get it fixed and back in working order. There's another light up ahead. Champlain, New York has come of age. It's a beautiful evening. It's cooled off and the lights just turned green. It's cooled off, and I got no more work to do outside tonight. I'm going to go in now and I'll try to get some more pictures for you tomorrow, and then maybe I can add something else on here that I have that you might be interested in seeing from the area. Got a pizza place here now, and soft ice cream right opposite the entrance to the transborder. There's always cars at this corner, it seems. One coming, but I've got room. Cemetery, ever present. Quiet neighbors in here. Well, Russell, again, I got a tape from you yesterday, and I've got about a third of it I listened to today as I was out scraping some paint. I had my little recorder out there and was listening to it, and I'll be doing it again tomorrow. And again, thank you for sending me. There's Ken. Ken's doing some grass cutting.